Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all are doing just fine. Welcome back to Louisiana Homestead, and thank all of you who have subscribed, and for those of you who haven't subscribed, I hope you'll consider it. Today we're going to be in the outdoor kitchen. We're going to be cutting on some deer meat. Mr. E's taking out some of the larger pieces, some hind quarters, and maybe some shoulders. I'm not sure, I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm about to go in there and start cutting some of it off of the bone. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Okay, this is what he's got taken out here. He's got, looks like 3 pieces here. So it's all deer meat. What we're going to do is cut it off the bone so that we'll have some more room in the freezer. You see, these pieces take up a lot of space in the freezer, and once you've taken it off of the bone, you're going to have a lot more room in your freezer. So that's what we're working on today, guys. Okay, we're going to be starting out with some large cutting boards, some sharp knives, and a knife sharpener. Definitely have to have sharp knives for this job. So we're just gonna get started. I apologize for the stains on these boards, but they've been used a lot, and they've been used a lot around rust water too, but they've been sanitized and they're ready to go. Now, this is my little knife sharpener. I got this one at Walmart. It's a Chef's Choice. I like it. It's numbered 1 and 2. You'll pass it first in this groove a few times and then in this one to finish it. And I find it works really well. I'm satisfied with it. Okay. Give that a little wipe down, and let's get started. Okay, I'm just kind of feeling the meat, seeing if there's any. Look, we have some ice still on here. That needs to come off. Anything questionable comes off. I'm going to have a bowl nearby just to throw these scrap pieces in that I don't want to keep. So I'll have that off to the side, collecting those pieces. And what I'm going to try to do is trim anything off of the outside of it first that I don't want. Pieces of fat. Anything that might be kind of bloody. I like to trim it very well. I don't like to have anything hanging around that I don't want in my finished product. Anything that could give an off flavor, I want to trim that off of there. So let's see. Get that off of there. That looks like there could be a little gland in there. You see that dark spot? I think that's a gland. So I'm going to cut it out and get it off of there, because I definitely don't want that. We're probably going to be making ground meat with a lot of this. I definitely do not want any glands in there. That will give the meat a bad flavor. So we got to get that off of there. When you processing your own meat, you need to know what you're doing and what you're looking for. Here's a big piece of hunk of fat, and take that out of there too. Deer tallow is not very good to cook like some fats are, so we're going to get that off of there. I'm going ahead and take this off, and I'm going to have me another pan on the side here that I'm going to be collecting my good pieces in. So it's a process. Get this off. I don't care for the way that looks. Get that off of there. Now I'm going to try to cut along this bone that off of there. And I'm left with a big piece of hard fat here that I don't want. So I'm going to trim that off, and that's going to go in the scrap bowl as well. Now the animals will eat this fat. The chickens will eat it and the dogs will eat it. So I'll portion it out where they'll all get a little bit of it, because animals do need fat in their diet, and we're gonna give them that. Okay, this piece looks pretty good. I see a little bit of undesirables there. Cut that off. This one looks all right. Take this off of it. Okay, and then that'll go in my good pan. And we're just going to continue cutting. There's a bone that goes down through here, so we're going to cut everything off of the top of it. When you're making ground meat, it doesn't matter what kind of cuts you're getting. You just want some good clean meat. And that's what I am going for right here. Get all those hard pieces off of there and save just the good meat. So that'll go in the scrap pile. That'll go in the good meat pan. So that looks pretty good there. Once you get started on this, from start to finish, just one piece like this, it doesn't take that long to get it cleaned up. We do have 3 pieces here we're working with today, so it'll take a little longer. Mr. E's on a little break right now, but he'll be out here to help me in just a little bit, I'm sure. He's the one who took these out yesterday and got them started thawing. Sometimes getting a job done, the biggest part of it is just getting it started. So him having come out here and taken these out of the freezer, he started the job, which I'm very glad he did, because I've been wanting to get on this. It's going pretty easy. So far, so good. Looks pretty good there. Cut it in a smaller piece there. Okay. Just trying to get it down and off the bone is the main objective right now. I am trimming it as I go along, but I will probably even trim more of it before it actually gets processed, just in case some pieces are left behind. Now, some of this skin like this that's on the top, I like to try to get some of that off of there. If you can get your knife just below it, you have a pretty good chance of getting a good bit off of it like that. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll save some of that off of there in a minute, but I'm going to continue working here. Okay. Same thing here. There's some good and some bad on it. Get that off of there. When I first met Mr. E, I didn't know what to do with this deer meat, but through the years I've learned how to separate the good from the bad and make all kinds of dishes with it. And now I love it. I just love deer meat. It's actually my favorite meat. Good thing, because there's plenty of it. But we do eat other stuff. I like to eat that fresh chicken. That's good too. Good stuff. Now you see, I could have taken this somewhere and had it processed, but why pay to have it processed? I can do this. It's not that hard of a job. And there's not very much waste involved either, as you can see. When we clean a deer, we try to use as many parts off of it as we can. Some people will just cut some of the parts off and use them for the meat, but we use a lot of it. Some people will cut just the back strap off of it. I don't understand why people would hunt and kill an animal and just take the back strap off of it. I do not understand that. We'll get the shoulders and the legs and the ribs and all the meat off of it, and use all the meat off of it. Now myself, I don't care for the liver or the heart. Sometimes Mr. E will save some of that, and he likes some of that stuff. I don't really care for that part of it myself. I'm just trying to cut this away from this bone. This is a shoulder blade, so this is a shoulder that I'm working on. It's coming off pretty good. It's a nice hunk of meat there. I'll probably take that silver off of it, that silver skin. Usually you can just kind of tuck your knife up right up under it like that. And since it's so hard to cut, the silver skin itself, you can kind of pull it up and work your knife through there without cutting the silver skin, and you can get it off pretty easily. You see that? How that came right off? Okay, it came off pretty easily. I need to try to just follow along this shoulder bone here and work this piece of meat off of it. Comes off pretty easy. And just, if you have a sharp knife, especially these fillet knives, that's the ones I like to work with for this. To me, that works the best. I'm sure everybody has their own favorite knives. But like I said, when I first got with Mr. E, I did not know how to get this meat off these bones. I did not know what I was doing, y'all. But I asked my brother about it, and he said, get you a good fillet knife. It works good on deer, he said. And I tell you what, it's some of the best advice I think he may have ever given me, because I sure have used it. And then I asked Mr. E for one of these knives, and he gave me one for my birthday one year, and I still have it around here somewhere. This one's not it. I've got a couple of them now. Okay, I'm going to continue to get this off of there, but I'm going to save this for a minute and start working on another piece. Still got a little bit of this I need to clean up. Clean this up. Yeah, these cutting boards have been through a lot, so excuse the stains on them. I do Clorox them, especially right before we use them, but they stay outside at the fish cleaning table, and there's the water there is well water. It's not treated, and it stains stuff like this. It stains just about anything, that well water, when it's untreated like that especially. Okay, so that's what we got off of that piece. There's the bone, and there's the scraps that came off of it. Now I'm gonna get another piece out and start working on it. Now this one's a ham. I'm going to do the same, follow the same procedure and cut a lot of this little stuff right off the top of it. I see Mr. E's come in here to join me.
Hind quarter.
Look at him.
Miss KK called that a ham. That's our slang word for it, but that's not. That's what you call a pork thing, but that's the hind quarter of the deer. Our slang term for it is a ham.
Okay, Mr. E been out here cutting up the rest of this meat. I had to go in and clean up the kitchen to get ready for lunch.
Baby, I cut a few pieces off the loin that we can put with those little steaks, those little round steaks, because I like that. That's some good meat off that loin.
Okay.
We'll make the ground meat out the rest of it, but
yeah,
we'll put them with the steaks.
Okay.
That's what I got left to debone and trim off that hind quarter, that ham we call it.
Okay. There's
right. I'll get it deboned and trimmed and ready to grind, and we'll do that after lunch. And that won't take
that part don't take long.
You right.
And I mean, I might could even do that part. So, you know, I might not have as much planned for the evening as you do. I don't know what you have planned.
Well, I'm not sure yet. I always pray in the morning for the Heavenly Father to show me what I need to do. I just started learning how to do that instead of making my own plans all the time. But there's so many things to do. I got some shredding I need to do. I got wood can be split anytime there's any spare time.
Yeah.
I got straw needs to be spread. I mean, I don't know what it'll be, but there's things to do.
Right, I know. I'm like that too. All right, Mr. E's getting ready to do his ground meat. This is the meat he's got cut up and prepared and ready to go into the grinder. That deer meat we was working on earlier.
Well,
gonna plug it in. It's a Cabela's meat grinder, in case anybody's wondering. Been having it for probably 15 years now. It's processed a lot of deer meat. We've made sausage with it also.
we got a video on that you can tell about.
Yeah, we got a video on the sausage making we used it for.
Yeah, we did some deer sausage. I don't know what the video is called. Do you, Mom?
I don't remember right at this moment, but I can put it at the end or something like that. They can.
Yeah. But we do this from time to time because we don't hardly buy any meat out of the store.
No, we don't. So you can see it grinds it real good. It does a good job on it.
We raise sheep and goats, and our son and his wife raised a few cows. So we always got sheep, goats, or cows that we're doing some meat with, and then we get a few deer every year between my son and his wife and me. So. And we got the chickens we eat and fish.
Right.
So, well, not too much of the food we eat comes out of the store.
No, not a lot of it, but we still do buy food from the store. Trying to buy less and less of it and do more and more at home. So we're gonna go on ahead and grind this up, and we'll let you know what we come out with. Okay, the bowl's filling up.
Hi, Mama. Throughout our life, some people done said you can't eat ground deer meat. You gotta mix it with stuff.
Yeah, everybody says that. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people do say it's too dry. You gotta mix it with something.
Is that true?
No, that's not true. Now, you don't have to mix it with another meat. You really don't have to mix it with anything, but I do like to mix it with a little dry oatmeal, and olive oil. I find that makes it premium for making hamburgers with or meatloafs with.
And
now, if you're making something like spaghetti or chili, then I don't mix anything with it.
Makes the best spaghetti we ever seen. But what we're going to do with some of this tomorrow, if the Heavenly Father's willing, is we started this year making. Tell them, Mama. Turn the camera around. Tell them, making some.
We started making the burritos and freezing them, and we make them with different stuff. But mostly we do put the meat that we use is this ground deer meat.
Ground deer meat or deer sausage.
Yeah, or deer sausage. He had did some deer sausage and egg ones, and then I had did some deer meat ones with refried beans, and those were very, very good also. But the thing is, we ate all of them, and it's time to make some more. So we're going to save some of this meat out for tomorrow to do some more of those burritos with. So we're not going to be freezing all of it. But obviously, this is too much to make burritos with tomorrow. At least for me, I'm not going to make that many of them at one time. So we're going to freeze some of it. We're going to wrap it, and we're going to wrap it in something that's kind of like saran wrap, basically. The same thing as saran wrap, except for we got it at a
A restaurant supply.
we got it at a restaurant supply place, and it came on a really big roll, but we got it at a better price by buying in bulk like that. So as you can see, this was the size of it, what it says here, 18 by 2000. Misty's holding the box for me. Western Plastics.
Works good.
Food film. Food service film. And it works very, very good. He's going to show you. He's going to wrap one of them up. And I'll tape it so you can just see how good it gets the air out of your meat. And you don't have to worry about it freezer burning very much when you don't have any air hitting it like that. We've tried the paper wrapping, and it doesn't keep the air out. We find the freezer paper.
Oh, look at me.
And we've also tried the vacuum bags, but we find a lot of times those come undone in the freezer. You'll be looking for something in the freezer, and then you'll find one of those bags have been opened and has air in it. The way he's doing it here, you're not gonna find this open with air in it. And it squeezes every little piece of air out of it. And then he'll put several wrappings on it. It'll keep a long time with no problems, no freezer burn. And you could use saran wrap to do this because it's really the same thing.
We don't know how long it keeps because between me and Miss KK and our son and his wife and a few other family members, it don't stay in the freezer very long. We go through a lot of it.
But I have had stuff in the freezer for over a year with that in it, and it was still perfectly fine. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes something will fall to the bottom of a freezer and you'll have, you know, a lost piece of food down at the bottom of the freezer that you'll find. Okay, and that's how it's done.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I usually do about 4 of these, but that wraps it more than 4 times.
Okay, so I'm gonna conclude the video with that. So if you'd like to tell these lovely people goodbye, I'll come over here and tell you goodbye with them.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for watching. Give us a big thumbs up if y'all like this video. And we thank y'all for spending time with us.
Yes, and if you haven't subscribed already, I hope you'll consider it. And if you have subscribed, thank you very much.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thanks for spending time with us. Bye, y'all.